Welcome to This Explainer. We're diving straight into an incredibly provocative legal theory from a text called Domino, written by an author known as Sky Toshi. Now, why should you care about corporate insurance? Well, if this theory holds water, we're looking at a legal earthquake that could literally shatter global institutions. The text claims that what corporate executives think is their ultimate protection, their directors' and officers' insurance, is actually a carefully disguised confession mechanism. It's wild stuff, and we're going to break down exactly how the author constructs this argument step by step.
According to the author, we can map this out like a complex 5-part mousetrap. We're going to hit the insurance trap, the broken actuarial models, intentional acts, the prior knowledge bombshell, and finally, a massive prisoner's dilemma. All right, kicking things off with part 1, the insurance trap. Let's look at how this text fundamentally flips the idea of liability insurance on its head.
Think about how we normally view D&O, directors and officers insurance. Most executives see it as a trusty corporate shield, right? A safety net to cover legal fees if a regulator comes knocking or shareholders sue. But Domino argues the exact opposite. It claims these policies aren't shielded at all. They are hidden confession mechanisms, just waiting for the insurance carrier to pull the trigger and offload the liability right back onto the individual.
So what exactly is that trigger? The text points to an everyday legal document called the Reservation of Rights, or ROR letter. Usually, when a lawsuit drops, the insurer sends this notice basically saying, hey, we'll defend you for now, but we reserve the right to yank that coverage later. Sounds like a standard form letter, doesn't it? But the author argues this is actually the trap springing shut. It forces policyholders to start answering questions that ultimately extract a confession and void their own coverage.
And this is where the fine print gets really intense. Domino breaks down these standard clauses that no one ever reads until it's too late. You've got the warranty clause, meaning any tiny false statement on an application can void the whole policy. The cooperation clause, which literally forces the insured to hand over internal documents and answer the insurer's questions. And the hammer clause, which can cap the insurer's liability if the executive refuses to settle. Basically, it's a web designed to make the executive admit they knew about the risks all along.
Here's how the text says the carrier corners them, step by step. First, the application demands broad disclosure. Second, a claim hits and that ROR letter goes out. Third, the insurer weaponizes the cooperation clause to extract an admission of prior knowledge. And boom, step 4, coverage denied. The insurer might even turn around and sue the executive to recoup their costs. They've essentially forced the policyholder into becoming their own prosecutor.
Moving right along to part 2, when actuarial models broke. This is what the text considers the spring of the mousetrap. The source text points to 2021, claiming mortality tables completely shattered, showing an unprecedented 30 to 50% spike in disability claims. Let's put that into perspective for a second. Actuarial models are built to shift by fractions of a percent, so a 30 to 50% jump, that is literally a statistical earthquake. The author's point here is that insurance carriers saw this massive shift, knew the underlying math of human risk had fundamentally changed, but they kept right on writing D&O policies anyway.
Because they allegedly kept collecting those premiums despite the glaring red flags in the data, the author slaps a pretty heavy label on the insurance industry: the silent financier. The text doesn't view carriers as passive victims of surprise claims. Instead, it paints them as the silent financiers of a global program of harm, cashing in upfront while silently prepping that fine print to deny the inevitable claims later.
That brings us to Section 3, Intentional Acts and Exclusions. This is where we find the actual teeth of the trap.
Almost every standard D&O policy has what's called an intentional act exclusion. This is absolutely crucial. It means if an executive acts with reckless disregard for safety, or if they knew about severe risks beforehand and plowed ahead anyway, the policy is toast, voided. The carrier owes absolutely nothing, and the executive is suddenly on the hook personally for all the damages.
And according to Domino, this trap wasn't triggered in some shady back room. It happened right in the open, in the corporate boardroom. The text argues that the exact moment architects of these programs signed regulatory certifications or approved manufacturing protocols, they tripped this exclusion wire. Because they allegedly had access to internal data showing severe risk, the text claims this crosses the line from simple negligence straight into reckless disregard.
Which leads us to the fourth and definitely the most provocative part of the text: the prior knowledge bombshell, focusing specifically on the COVID-19 vaccine rollout.
The author maps out a very specific timeline here. Look at this.
We're talking about a patent for a lipid nanoparticle delivery system filed way back in 2012, another patent for mRNA formulations in 2019, a Chinese patent for a spike protein delivery system in September 2020. All of this hardware, the text points out, was patented months, sometimes years, before the emergency use authorization was even granted in December 2020.
This is the absolute core of the author's thesis. The text boldly states, the architects of the vaccine program knew about this hardware. They patented it. They certified it. They manufactured it. They injected it. In the ruthless world of insurance law, the author argues these timestamps are the smoking gun. It voids the policy under the concealment clause because, simply put, you cannot insure an act that you've already meticulously planned out and patented.
By tracking these three specific patents from 2012 to 2020, the author is trying to legally prove reckless disregard. The logic here is that nobody can play the ignorance card when the actual blueprints were already on file. According to the text, the evidence of the technology and its potential for harm was sitting right there long before anything was actually deployed to the public.
Finally, we hit Section 5, the prisoner's dilemma, the impending boardroom fracture.
So picture this scenario. The legal pressure is mounting, lawsuits are flying, and those D&O policies are hanging by a thread because of the intentional act exclusion. The text asks the ultimate boardroom-shattering question. Who is going to be the first executive to crack, file their reservation of rights response, and actually admit what they knew?
The author frames this as a brutal, high-stakes prisoner's dilemma. Insurance funds aren't unlimited, right? So the text theorizes that the first executive to flip and confess gets a subrogation advantage. Basically, they cut a deal to escape the crossfire while the insurer hunts down everyone else. The folks who file in the middle, they might just get rejected as the policy money runs out. And the last person to file, they lose all coverage and inherit the entire crushing weight of personal liability.
According to Domino, this dynamic creates an environment of absolute insurance panic. It drops every single corporate director into a terrifying psychological thriller. Do you choose self-preservation, file your paperwork early, and essentially sell out your colleagues? Or do you stick to group loyalty, hold the line, and risk total financial ruin when that insurance shield inevitably vanishes?
The text argues that once that very first domino falls and an intentional act is proven, the fallout isn't just local, it's systemic. The primary policy voids. And if that happens, the entire global reinsurance chain stacked on top of it completely collapses. The author isn't just talking about a few executives going broke. They're predicting a massive institutional fracture across global markets as board members literally turn on each other in open court.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, this intricate deconstruction leaves us with a seriously chilling provocation. No matter where you stand on the public health claims presented in the text, the legal mechanics it lays out are undeniably fascinating. It forces us to ask if the ultimate corporate insurance shield is actually a carefully rigged trap. Who is left holding the bag when the final domino falls? Thanks for hanging out with me for this deep dive, and remember, always check the fine print.